about the All Builders Welcome. So you may have heard of it. As I said, the application is open, but I do want us to hear from someone that has been on the program who can share about it, why they joined, what are the benefits, and the eligibility criteria. Maybe you, as a user group leader or hero, might not need this information, but I am asking that you extend the invite to your members as well so that they have a chance to join and participate. So, Kevin, hello, Kevin.
Let me see if I can do my lighting. Let me just something here.
No worries. Um, are you gonna present something? Should I stop sharing?
No, I won't be presenting, but
Okay,
basically, I think I'll just do it in a Q&A style. You can just clarify anything that I need to share about. Thanks so much for
perfect.
having me. It's such a pleasure. I wanted to answer a number of things that you're asking, then I realized, oh, I'm going to speak. So, but yeah,
Oh,
I think you missed we had EWS Community Day Kenya. Is
Kenya.
my network breaking? Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. I apologize
Okay.
greatly for that because yes, you had the AWS Community Day in Kenya that happened just last week, 2 weeks ago, weekends ago. You had Verna attend, and you had a big announcement as well. So I'm gonna let you take over that, but I do apologize for missing that one.
No, I'll let you make the announcements about it. Anyways, it was really interesting. Thanks so much for having me and talk about the All Builders Welcome Grant. How time flies because it feels like it was just yesterday when in December when you are at reInvent 2024. Amazing event. First of all, I can tell you one thing is if there's anything that you should wish to have as a person in the community, whether you're a community builder or a user group leader or whoever within the AWS community, being at reInvent is an experience like no other. And basically, just to share my experience around it, is I'd applied in 2023. First of all, I didn't get that opportunity. I kind of got a regret around that, and then I reapplied in 2024, and I got the opportunity. And since the applications have opened, I'll focus more on that part. Then in case of anything, you can ask me questions. So in terms of the application, one thing that I learned from my 2023 application that I didn't now I implemented in 2024 that got me in is looking, first of all, looking deeply into the builder's grant terms and conditions. Sometimes people just apply, but you don't look at the terms and conditions that are required because your application has to speak that you're eligible. That is very, very important as you're filling the form. So any one thing that you'd say that would disqualify you, for example, if you mistakenly say that you're an employee of AWS or you work for a contractor of AWS, then that is definitely against the terms and conditions. So that's very important, especially on those clear questions that are just cut out. Then when you go to the open-ended questions, I don't know the questions that are here that are there this year, but the questions that are there should actually show what I did a lot in 2023. I was just talking about my career journey, but the community plays a big part. And when I didn't get the opportunity in 2023, I realized that I need to do more in the community. I needed to uh, contribute to the user group, to new voices, to many different things that are happening in the AWS community, regardless of where you are. So that is what I did. And then I made sure that as I did it, I was documenting. That means I was building in public. I was making sure that I post it out. And at any one point in time when I needed to now reference on what I did, I would just look at what is on my blog because I believe in the grant, you're given an opportunity to share your socials or where you can be found, some of the things that are there. So one thing that I did differently is making sure that I emphasize a lot on some of the things that would make me stand out. Remember that the grant is meant for people in their early career. It is also meant to bring diversity and inclusion in the reInvent conference. So what does that tell you? It tells you that you should also demonstrate that you come from an underrepresented or you're in your early career. Anything that your answer should be speaking to any of the terms and conditions that are there. And after that, the other thing that is always a challenge, especially in EMEA, is you're going to be going to the US. So that means that, and that is what is also written there, you have to look and consult with those who have gone before. For example, for my case, I consulted one of the recipients, like Terence from Kenya, who had gone to reInvent before, and I confirmed that there could be a very good chance to get the visa before, because most of the time the confirmations come about mid first 2 weeks of September. That is when you know whether you've gotten it or not. And that means that can be very short time for you to get the visa, to get an appointment, and then to get to the interview, pass it, and then the beauty is once you get to pass the interview, you can easily, by within 1 or 2 weeks, you get back your passport and you have the visa to go to reInvent. I think that a big issue, Thembile, is usually people get rejections on the visa, and the fact that the grant does not allow for deferment right now to any subsequent year, it becomes very frustrating. And what I can say as an advice is, as like, don't wing that interview. Don't just go to that interview for the visa as if you're going to meet your friend. Prepare for it, have all the documentation. And the other thing is, always show that you have ties back to your home country. That is what I did a lot. And I made sure that even as I went to that interview, because my interview didn't even last more than 90 seconds, and I was given the go ahead that I'm going to go. Again, the other mistake is when people apply, they do apply even for many purposes to go to the US, like leisure, like a 5-year visa, things that are maybe beyond what the consular officer can give. So just in case, for my case, I just applied for a conference visa. Very clear, I was given a visa for the purpose of reInvent, and that is okay. Because definitely, if you go and come back, you have a better chance of getting any other type of visa. So that those are some of the things that come into play. And just to mention is, you need, the beauty is with the grant, you get the grant team as a very supportive support system. You'll also get an alumni advisor, that is someone who has gone to reInvent before and is going to guide you through the process. You're going to have a know before you go webinar and all these different things, just to make sure that the reInvent becomes an amazing and fulfilling experience. One last thing that I ought to share before I open it up for questions is, please, if you now get the grant, prioritize the grant related events at reInvent. It will help you a lot. And when I talk about grant related events, is events happening at the grant lounge, like speed mentoring sessions, the mentor roundtable, peer talks, and also the welcome reception, the closing reception, and anything that is coming out from ABW. Because from there on, you're going to get a lot, because reInvent can be very overwhelming and there's a lot that is there to take in. But if you prioritize on those ones, and also make a good connection with your fellow grant recipients, you can have an amazing fast experience. Then from there on, if you get an opportunity to go again and again, then you can find ways, maybe you can look at other aspects, because you cannot handle all angles of reinventing in that first particular visit or that first year. So I think that is it. Thanks so much. I can see the highs. Thank you, Radek, Jacob, and my fellow leader counterpart from Kenya, Macorina. I think with that, I can open it up for questions.
Thank you, Kevin. You have a question from Marcus. So maybe not a question directly for Kevin, but who are those mentors and how are they selected? Which group is considered to be a mentor? Maybe you can answer that.
Yeah, so for the mentors or the alumni advisors, there are strict requirements. First of all, is you need to you have been a grant recipient in the previous year. For example, myself, I would qualify, right? Then the other thing is the other requirement is you, as you're a grant recipient, you can also commit time that you're not going there for now to attend. You're going there to support a group of individuals to have an amazing experience at reInvent. So you need to show that you can make that commitment. And then also all the terms and conditions for the grant recipients also apply to the mentor. That is, you should be 21 years of age by the time reInvent gets there. You should not be working as a contractor for Amazon, for AWS, and all those different things. So those are the two key requirements. You should have been a grant recipient in 2024, and you can commit time and you also need to apply. There's a separate application for that.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Does anyone else have any questions around the grants?
Thembile, I have a question. So obviously I've been in IT, kind of lost track how long I've been in IT, but I'm transitioning into a cloud-specific role. I was always a software engineer, um, but now recently transferred into a cloud role since April. So in a cloud role, I'm like not even 6 months. Do I still then qualify for the grant as being in transitions now into the cloud role?
Yes, actually you do qualify because it is first 5 years in your cloud career. Yeah, so you do qualify.
Okay,
And the
100%.
other thing
That
is
makes sense.
you need to demonstrate that. You need to demonstrate that in your application. You need to show that maybe this is the first time you interacted with AWS Cloud. This is where you are. As you're applying, that has to be very clear, because if you don't, then you'll not qualify as per the terms and conditions.
Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Welcome.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing your expertise. As I said, I'll put the recording on the Slack channel. If anyone has other questions, maybe other people that weren't on the call might have questions, Kevin. If you can respond there, I'll also support to respond there as well. I think, as I said, the more people that we get, the better. Reinvent is always a good opportunity. It's something you need to do it at least once, to be able to meet, network with the community, with the partners, engage in some of the content. It's like a summit if you've been to any of the summits, but like on steroids, like bigger, longer, the whole week. And it really is, it sets you up. If you're starting up in your career, the networking opportunities can really set you up. And it's really taking guidance for some people that have gone there previously, prepping yourself and making sure that you make the most of that time, but most importantly, having fun as well. I cannot leave that out. It is a fun. So thank you, Kevin, for sharing. And the application did open on the 24th. Please apply as soon as possible, so that you can get in. And yes, have someone review your application. So that's also a tip from Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time.
Thank you.